As a kid, when I got home from school, my parents would ask if I had received any grades that day. And God forbid I didn't get 100 on an exam. Some of my friends would get a B and their parents would say, "That's great, son, so proud of you. You get to choose dessert tonight." But me, if I got a 97 on an exam, my parents would ask me in Armenian, "Երեկե դու ուր մնաց? Ամենապարծրն իշո վարավ?" If you have immigrant parents, then you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. High expectations, no excuses, the whole thing. And if you don't have immigrant parents, this might all sound foreign to you. If you don't know me, I'm Dr. Shemmassian. I've been helping high-achieving students get into top medical schools and elite colleges for nearly 20 years. I want to share with you what growing up with immigrant parents taught me. At times, they were insanely tough on me, and I wish they would back off. But now, as a husband, father, and mentor to many students, I couldn't be more grateful for their tough love. Before I get into the lessons I learned from my parents, I'll share a little bit about my family's background and why my parents raised me the way they did. I'm ethnically 100% Armenian. During World War I, my ancestors experienced the Armenian genocide at the hands of the Ottoman Empire. Some of my family members who survived settled in various parts of the Middle East. My parents were born and raised in Lebanon, and they met in Beirut during their college years. Decades ago, Beirut was known as the Paris of the Middle East. My mom never misses an opportunity to share this. And by all accounts, it was a wonderful place to live. Beautiful weather, beaches, incredible food, great quality of life. But in 1975 started the Lebanese Civil War, which lasted over 15 years. Beirut saw the worst of the conflicts. To this day, you can see the impact of the war all over the city, especially through the damage done to various downtown buildings. Unfortunately, my family was once again displaced. Fortunately, they settled in the United States, mostly in Los Angeles, where I was born and raised. My parents hustled. My dad worked at a watch store inside a shopping mall while pursuing his PhD. My mom worked at various schools as a teacher's aide for years before receiving her credentials. At times, they lived in the States without a green card. Despite all of their sacrifices and hard work, it was a long time before they enjoyed true security. Like many other immigrant parents, my mom and dad wanted an easier life for my brother and me. Finances were always tight, but they knew that education would be a ticket for us to build comfortable lives for ourselves and our future families. So they pushed hard and never backed down. All right, back to the story about disappointing my parents when I scored a 97% on an exam. Even if I received the highest grade in the class, they wanted to know what I missed so that I would improve moving forward. At times, it wasn't easy growing up with that level of pressure. I often felt like I was letting them down, even though I knew they wanted the best for me. All right, side note, if you're a parent watching this, trust me, I get it. You want your child to achieve at the highest level so they can benefit from your sacrifices. Sometimes students and parents ask me, what makes your consulting services different? Part of it is that we push our students hard, not in a military drill sergeant sort of way, but in a way that brings out their best work. Whether an essay needs 4 rounds or 8 rounds of edits doesn't matter. We don't greenlight essays until they're ready to submit. That work ethic, that pushing our students until they produce their best work, that could easily be traced back to my parents. However, I don't agree with everything my parents wanted for me. I remember they would often talk about how I should go to school and get a good job with benefits so that I could have security and live comfortably. Don't get me wrong, these are all good things. And it makes sense that my parents would prioritize security for my brother and me because they lacked it during various seasons of life. Whether it was their threatened safety during the Lebanese Civil War, years of working low-paying jobs when they did not have green cards, and so on. These feelings of insecurity led my parents to push me to be successful, but only in certain ways. For example, they wanted me to go to a good university, but not too far from home. I went to a high school with very minimal college counseling. In its 50+ years of existence, I'm the only student from my high school who attended an Ivy League school, let alone graduated with a 3.9 GPA. When my parents reflect on my education at Cornell, they often say it's one of the best decisions I ever made. But at the time, I remember how shortly after I got in, my dad asked me, "Are you sure you'll make it? Those schools are for really smart kids." I was pretty crushed because I thought he didn't believe in me, but looking back, I think that me leaving home more so challenged his comfort zone, his sense of security. My parents also questioned me when I started Shemmassian to help students get into top schools. I wanted other students to have the admission support I never did, but my parents asked me why I would start a business rather than pursue a salary job. Once again, My decision challenged their desire for stability. If I had followed my parents' wishes at every step, my life would look very different. Not bad different, but I don't think I would reach my potential. In addition, I don't think that I would be able to help our students reach their potential. If you're a student currently going through an admissions process or plan to sometime in the next few years, you know how negative the chatter around you can be. You question yourself. Are my grades good enough? Yes, I know I'm competitive on paper, but I feel like everyone else is too. I know my stats are high, but do you actually think that I can get into Harvard Medical School? While it's typical to worry about things like this, the discouragement can sometimes lead you to not put your best foot forward. You might decide not to apply to your dream schools, decide not to hire professional support for your apps because deep down you don't believe that you can get in, so why bother? Ironically, my dad would also often rhetorically ask, people who accomplish great things are human, just like you. So why not you? Why can't you do it? So that's the question I'll pose to you. Why not you? Think about that question carefully and bet on yourself. Even if you don't accomplish everything you wanted, it beats having to wonder, what if? What if I had tried? What if I hadn't been so anxious? In closing, high accountability, hard work, and taking chances pay off in the end. While the process isn't always fun, the rewards are. Plus, you don't even have to be an immigrant to buy into this philosophy. So, there you have it, the lessons I learned from my immigrant parents. Now I'd love to hear from you. What are the most important lessons that you learned from your parents? Leave a note in the comments section. And if you're a parent watching this, I'd love to learn the lessons you've worked hard to instill in your children. With that, I'll wrap up and leave some useful resources in the description section. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button so that the folks at Google can recommend it to others. I also encourage you to subscribe to our channel to make sure you don't miss out on future videos. Finally, I encourage you to check out the other videos that popped up on the screen. If you don't click anything, my parents will be very disappointed in you. My mom might even come up to you and ask, what happened to the clicks? Alright, see you next time.